YouTube's on a hot streak for recommending me things I think I might be interested in. It's shown me a trailer for a real-time strategy game, and on paper, I think that real-time strategy games are pretty neat, but I've never actually been able to find one that I really enjoyed. So let's take a look at this and see if that actually changes. This is a trailer for a game called Beyond All Reason. Certainly seems to have a lot going on. Teams or co-op survival. These are the type of devs to use the word epic quite a bit. I can definitely tell that this is an indie project. Up to 16 people. So I don't really have a good metric for what a good or a real-time strategy trailer is supposed to look like, but I do have a bit of concern with this, primarily with the amount of players and the amount of units that are available in the game. Now, I'm assuming that you don't have to have 16 people to play the game, but if all of those people are putting units in little, all of those, that's a lot for a game to keep track of, is what I'm trying to say. And I think that's going to impact a whole lot of performance and turn into a very chaotic mess. But I don't know for sure. The other big concern is with thousands of different units, it's going to be very complicated. And that's part of the reason why I don't really enjoy real-time strategy games as they are. I mean, as far as the ones that are already out, is they're way too complicated. Different units all do different things, and it's this super complicated rock, paper, scissors of this unit beats that unit but loses to those other units over there. And I don't know, the barrier to entry for these types of games is incredibly high usually. So I have gone ahead and played through the first tutorial mission of this game, Beyond All Reason, and I have some things to talk about. Unfortunately, some of the other reasons why real-time strategy games don't really strike home with me were very prevalent here. Right away, I was encountering an issue with the UI scaling, which is something a lot of people have in the past complained about. And what that is basically is the text on the screen is really freaking hard to see. Like, really hard to see. And adjusting the resolution of the overall game doesn't fix the problem. So, for the first, 5 or 10 minutes or so, I was just fighting the UI, just so I could see the text that was on the screen. And that text was telling me how to build things, and how to basically get started with, the basic mechanics of the game. So I had to figure that out on my own. The first two messages that came up were how to build facilities for power and how to build something for units. And it was basically telling me that I could build whatever I wanted. So I opted for aircraft first, because I kind of could tell that aircrafts would have like scouts. I thought that maybe vehicles would have scouts too, but I figured that it would be a safer bet to go with aircraft first. The game basically works on two resources, energy and metal. So upon getting power, I then built facilities for building or for gathering metal, raw metal. I thought that this was a pretty neat mechanic because it meant that it was more straightforward than some of the other isometric games that I've played. The Rift Breaker, for example, has power, copper, it has various types of metal, as well as hydro energy, wind energy, and solar energy, among other things. So I appreciate it being straightforward. You just have your... Fortunately, though, I think I was right about the units being very complicated, because hovering over all of the different units that were available just gave me like a general summary as to what they were. For example, a vehicle that has artillery, or aircraft that were good for bombing but weak to anti-air. And it's like, well, no shit, the aircraft are weak to anti-air. It's anti-air. I was having a difficult time with stuff like that. Details of the units. I didn't see a tutorial or any sort of message for where to get more details of that. Also, at some point or another, I encountered enemy units that were apparently tier 2. But I had no idea how I could get tier 2 units. So I basically had to win by sheer number. Like, I threw everything that I had at this tier 2 unit. I didn't even know which one of the units were tier 2 until it was destroyed. So it very quickly went from strategy to blitzkrieg, and that's really not what I want from a strategy game. I think this game is made for people who are very familiar with Command and Conquer. I think if you're a fan of that series, this will make you extremely happy. But for everyone else, I don't know if this is going to be the game that introduces you to the rest of the genre. But then again, the game is free, so what do I know? Are you a fan of real-time strategies? Let me know if you are down in the comments below. If you've ever played this game, and you have any tips, I'd love to hear about them. And I want to know what you think of the genre in general, and where this stacks up in it. But that's going to do it for me. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in another video.